Welcome, welcome, welcome to OMG Reviews, and you're here with your host, Animus Thing, and as always, a girl is Flosser. How is everybody today? So, what is our real talk for today? I hear you say, well, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Are you ready to open a business? That is the question. Are you ready to open a business? Why has that come up? And why is this going to be tonight's evening of conversation? As you may notice, I am the Lone Ranger today, but that is because I want to work with you guys and share with you some really positive information as to if you've ever had that dream or that little butterfly feeling in your belly that you want to be your own business. You want to be an entrepreneur, as the new term now, solopreneur. And you have thought about it, you've dreamed about it, you've woke up thinking about it, but you just haven't taken those steps. So here I am going to give you some top tips and share some information with you. So why is this topic coming up at this time? And I know that you all must be like, are you crazy? Have a business. This is COVID. Well, guess what? There is no time like the present for you to start thinking about having your own business. Why is that? Because exactly this, the pandemic. In this pandemic, so many people have lost jobs. So many people have been laid off. So many people have been furloughed or put to part-time, and you still can't even guarantee that you're actually going to be put back in full-time paid employment. So this is a time that we need to start considering other options. So we're going to be talking and sharing some stuff. So just to let you all know, I will be showing you some information and sharing with you. And if you do need any assistance or support, I can signpost you, or I can help you myself, because that's, of course, what I do. So, but those of you who are on Instagram, I love you, but if you want to see the presentation, you may want to go to check it out on YouTube at Animus Thing. In actual fact, you should be subscribing on YouTube. Yes, subscribe to Animus Thing. And also, those of you on Facebook, you'll be able to have access straight away. So what's our weekly news roundup? Because I like to just go into what's been happening in our world today. Well, my favorite one was our dear Trumpy. I like Trumpy. I find him absolutely hilarious. And I think he's a funny guy. And in actual fact, Trumpy is one of the people that I will be sharing with you is someone who's had many a business. So last week, I should say, because we're in a new week. Last week, Trumpy decided that we should postpone the election. Why? Why? Because he's lost his mind again. And I really believe he feels that he may lose. Not a good thing. In my opinion, but who am I? I think he should lose. He's crazy. But that's neither here nor there. That's going to be up, to the voting public. So if you want him to be there, vote. And if you don't want him to be there, I suggest you definitely vote, because otherwise it's going to be another 4 years of this interesting presidency. So that's one of them. Also, this week, many of our football and soccer teams and basketball, everybody's gone back into full play. My basketball team's back in play. I was so excited. I got so happy, and then they hurt my feelings. But, it's good to see the sports. And it's officially all around the world. The major quarantine and lockdown is supposedly lifted. Aha! But instead, we've got new rules of masking up everywhere. And now we're wearing Darth Vader face shields, as I like to call them. Yeah. I forgot I was meant to bring out one for you to see. Even I've got one of them facial things. Yep, you go and see me looking behind the screen. I need to get windscreen wipers just in case it rains. Hey, who knows? But yeah, so our world is changing. Yes, it's over. The world is over. Our world is changing. And because of our world changing, this is why I'm coming to you today, because I want you, my peeps, to have adaptable change. What does that mean? It means when there's a scenario or a situation that's happening, when it's not just simply within your house, so it could be in the economy, it could be, in the community, you don't say, wow, and you go roll over. What you do is you start thinking differently. You start to have an adaptable mindset as to how you can still have things moving and working, okay? So that's where it comes to this big question. Are you ready to have your own business? Now, many of you, I can hear you say, hey, of course not. You're crazy. You need money for that. Wrong, actually. So, what ideas have you had? Anyone just put out there for me, what ideas have you had about a business? So I'm going to tell you some businesses that even for me, I would have thought, yeah, not interested, but it's made money. So I don't know if you remember, about 10 years ago, there was this company that made the snuggle robe. You put it on back to front, because that's what it was. It was a dressing gown back to front. But yep, t-shirts always make money. You can't go wrong with t-shirts. But they made this snuggle robe back to front for you to watch TV, and somehow that made money because they were selling it on TV late at night. And don't ask me why I was up late at night, but I saw it and it kept being promoted and it was being sold. That I thought was stupid. Just go and put your dressing down. But it made money. A prime example. You are looking at people right now who have just adapted. We've got the pandemic. We're having to wear masks. You've got people, one of amazing business person, Saran Prints. If you need a mask, African printed, that's it. Them things were stupid. Don't laugh. Them things were stupid. Them, what would he have is she makes fantastic African print face masks. I can get you her details. Saran Prints. She took adaptable change, moved with the times, and now she's making face masks. Even the face masks I said that I was gonna use. That's right, face masks. The clear glass ones, the protective ones. I'm used to seeing somebody who's welding or doing something like that with it. Look, now everybody's wearing a face mask. Okay, the shields, face shields. That's different to the face mask. People have adapted to the climate. A place that never used to deliver, Nando's. Guess what? They had to get into the game. Yes, I'm talking about that Portuguese chicken. They had to do delivery. Why? They had to adapt to the economy. If they stayed just a go-to restaurant, they'd lose money. Why? No one's allowed to go. You can't go just like that to the restaurant. You have to have social distancing, even though they're open. So now is the time to change. Adaptable change. You've got to think outside of the box and think holistically on how you can, if you want to say, have your hustle, that side hustle, whatever, to start generating income for yourself so that you can have your own business. So here's a question for many, many people. What's stopping you from having your own business? Share with me in the chat, what is stopping you from having your own business? Now, most often the time is fear. Many people are fearful to have their own business, not because they don't think that the business could work, but because they're scared about the fact they won't have that every day, every 2 weeks or monthly paycheck. Because when you work for the man, you gonna get that paycheck. And even if there's an issue, you can go to HR and say, my pay weren't right, this didn't work. And someone will say, okay, we'll fix it. Either you'll get it in a check or we will put it in next pay. So that comfortable mindset that you're just going to get that pay is what is often the most barrier to why people don't have their own business. The thought of, if you don't work, you don't get paid, and it's a mean of you really not working. So if you don't push and try and make so for your business, you don't get any money. You won't have any customers. It isn't like, oh, say the company just had a bad time, but you still get paid. You will not get paid if you don't push to make your money. Okay, right. So that's the first thing that I find that a lot of people say, oh, I can't have my own business because they're fearful. Now, another reason why people don't like to have their own business is because they think their idea is not great. Well, guess what? Your idea is great. And I bet you someone else had the same idea. Okay, another example, something else that, I'm like, why would that be invented? Could you imagine the whoopee cushion? You go and sit down and then the thing go and fart. What kind of foolishness is that? But let me tell you, someone thought it was funny and somebody said, I'm going to make me a whoopee cushion. Guess what? Up until today, whoopee cushions are sold in droves and people have them to make jokes and play and prank on people. You would be surprised at what you think about that it could be a viable option. Yes, I know. There's so many different, things that people make that someone else might think is foolish, but another person thinks that's great. So don't ever doubt what you're thinking, so that's another thing that's often stopping people. And then I know the usual for many is finances. What may you need to start? What finances do I need to start my own business? And many people often make the mistake of thinking they need thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars before they can launch out to have their business. Dependent on what business you're starting out in, you can start on a minimum of even $100. You will be surprised, especially if you're taking your business online. Now, if you're going to do all the overall package, of course, you have to incorporate the costing of websites and, logos and things like this. But I mean, you can start on a small amount of money. You can start with what's in your house. You can start with the skills that you have. A prime example, quite a few of women I've known of late have decided, because of the economic climate, they're going to start selling food. Their businesses are taking off. Why? Everybody likes to eat. So they're selling food. They are catering. They're doing wings and things, or, the Islands Grill, or Mother J's Kitchen. There's different people coming up with stuff to make money. And where are they doing that from? Out of their homes. So that's cutting down business overheads right there. So working from home cuts your overheads. And if your dream reality should be WFA, work from home, or work away from home. Okay, you don't want to be tied down, shackled to anywhere. So you could even be on vacation and still be making money. That's the type of job that you really want to start pulling in for yourself. So what is another thing that stops people is, what is their unique selling point? What am I going to put out there? What makes you special? Well, first of all, you. Whoever you are, and you've decided to make this business move, that's what makes you special. You have the dream. No one else has that dream but you, unless you're partnering with somebody in it. So whoever in the dream, you are going to have the passion, the drive, the willing to sacrifice, because that's your dream. That's you. Okay, so find out your unique selling point. What is it? What area is it? And that's why you'll see different areas will, different people will sell different things. So, prime example, Apple. We all know Apple. What's Apple's unique selling point? Originally, Apple's unique selling point was their computer. Okay, but they've switched that. They realized their unique selling point was actually the iPhone. So even though they do sell you the notebooks, you are actually more inclined to know about someone with the iPhone before you are their computer. And that's their unique selling point. They sell you their iPhone, and they've got iTunes, and then they've got Siri, and the different things that go onto that platform. But that's their USP. Their iPhone, everybody knows about iPhone, even kids. And then they just expanded it. So that's why they got the iPad, and then they got the iWatch. So, you know, they've expanded over time. So that's one thing. Then you've, let's see, another company that that you can all think about. And I don't think it just has to be just companies. As I go through, I'm going to share with you even food industries and what they do. So who is your customer, your target market? That is definitely something that you need to look into. You don't want to try and sell to everybody. Why? Because not everybody's going to want to work with you. You need to know who you're selling to and focus on them and give them your best and let them know where you are, that you're here, that you're present, and that they can have access to you. So that's the first thing. So I want to just go through some key pointers on how you can start up your own business, on how you can become that solo or entrepreneur and take those first steps into changing your life. Once you start working for yourself, I am telling you, it is very rare that you're going to want to go back. Okay, being your own boss, hey, is something that is such a pleasure, especially when you see the fruits of your labor and you're working hard at it. Okay, everybody, you know, of course it's okay. I'm not knocking anyone who wishes and continues to be an employee. There is nothing wrong with that, and that is safe. That allows you to know that money is consistent. But if you truly desire and you have that fire in your belly that you want to actually now be a business owner, or you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to work for yourself, I am telling you, people, the time to start that is now. As crazy as it sounds, the time to start that is now. Okay, so let's go through some of the stuff that we have here that I want us to look at. Sorry, let me just get some water. Lux, voila. Oh my goodness, my throat is dry. I'm keeling over. Don't worry. I know you'll miss me if I'm gone. I know. So, oh dear. All right. So let me get to this PowerPoint for you. So those of you, have a look. So first off, the thing that you should be looking at is your company name. Think about who you'd like to be. What would you call yourself? My company name, simple, Anna Miss Thang. I've actually had that from I've been young, you know, and it's just been me. It's just a part of my character. It's just who I am, and it fits. For that part of, for that business aim, that fits with me. Anna Miss, that's my brand. Oh, as you can see, Anna Miss Thang, see? And I'm Flosser. So that's my brand. Think of something, what company name that you would need. Now, as you always know, I like to tell you, you have to plan. If you do not plan, then you plan to fail. It is always good to have a plan. So before you even think about jumping out to go and have a business, what is the plan? So of course, your name comes into the plan, and then you're going to plan how you will start. You're going to plan what your your first year, what the first year would be, or the first 3 months. I always say start off in bite sizes. Do the first 3 months, the 6 months, the 1 year, the 3 year, and then the 5 years. So there you go. How you're going to plan those stages and where you want to be in that time. So once you start your plan, things that you're going to start looking at are things like your mission statement. Clearly state your company's long-term mission. What are you about? Why are you here? What makes me as a customer want to come and receive your services or come to you for any kinds of, custom? Clearly state your company's long-term mission. Try to use words that will help direct the growth of the company, but be as concise as possible. So you're not going to say, well, our mission is to be the best trainers in the whole world. Well, yeah, we've got Nike, we've got Adidas, we've got Reebok. Yeah, come on now. No. What you could say is that our aim is to make the comfortable trainers for joggers who are, and you continue in that format. And you can even narrow it down to your target market. You can say for women. So there you go. So you've got comfortable sneakers for women who are joggers. There you go. That's your mission. You're moving forward to that. Okay. So going on from there, oftentimes people worry about the team. We say in the entrepreneurial world now, it's your tribe. Who is your tribe? Who do you need to have in your team? Well, guess what? In the business plan, you're going to need to put your CEO, if there's any, your key management, and by name, include their previous accomplishments to show what they've done and their record of success, and summarize a number of years' experience in this field. But also know, to start your business, you don't need more than 5 people. And that's you, 1, and 5 others. But realistically, to start, you actually can start with just you. 1 person starting the business, getting the traction, and keeping it moving and rolling. You will be amazed at what you can do. Okay. So you don't need a massive team and some corporate office. Why? That's unnecessary overheads. Your market summary. Summarize your market in the past. So things that you found out from before, the present and the future. Review any changes in the market share that you're interested in. So remember, if you're going to do sneakers, what are the other sneaker companies doing? What's the leadership, the players, the market shifts that are happening? Costing of your things, pricing, and your competition. So these people, New Balance, Nike, Adidas, these would be your competition. Skechers would be competition for walking and jogging. So what's the opportunities for your company's success? And that's where you go into opportunities. Identify your problems and opportunities. So the major word that we like to use here is SWOT. What's your SWOT analysis? So you're going to determine your strengths that you have for the business, your weaknesses for the business, the opportunities out there, and the threats. Okay, these things need to be looked at, and you can't be scared. What are your strengths? Name them and claim them. What are your weaknesses? Figure that out. Why? So you can learn to work with them and develop on them. What are the opportunities out there for your sneakers to be for women joggers? Look at that. And what are the threats? What could maybe make you lose business and the other competition out there? Okay. State your consumer's problems. So what's the solution you're solving for your customer, and define the nature of that product or service and opportunity that are created by those problems. Okay. Then you have the business concept. Summarize your key technology, the things that you're going to need to get your business operational, the concept, any strategies on which your business is based. And people, you always need a strategy. What is your strategy to try and get into the market and get your sneakers seen for women joggers? It can be whatever it is, but what is that strategy? You can't just go off the back. You need to have, again, a plan, and a strategy of how you're going to put that out there. So then competition. Summarize your competition. Now, this is where I always say, especially when when I'm working with my students, I say to them, could you imagine if Burger King had said, well, we're not going to do the Whopper because McDonald's has got the Big Mac. So some people like Big Mac because of the sauce. Some people like the Whopper because it's bigger and the burger's meatier and the cheese and stuff. Everybody has their own taste buds, and not because someone else is doing it, which is your competition, means you don't. Prime example, KFC and Popeyes. Some people like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Some people like Popeyes. I know my family likes Popeyes. And don't forget Chick-fil-A. Oh, yes, we do like Chick-fil-A. So what I'm saying is those are 3 restaurants that are selling chicken. They're still functioning today. They're not afraid of the competition. Outline, though, what your company's competition advantage is over you. Now, it could be the size. Remember, if you're doing those sneakers for women joggers, Skechers has been doing that. New Balance has been doing that. How are you then going to have get yourself in the market with their competitive advantage? But don't be fearful of it. Yeah, some people eat beef and some don't. That's right. So that's the reason why they had to make the chicken sandwich, even at McDonald's and Burger King. You see? Now, Chick-fil-A never had that problem. Again, I'm going with my Chick-fil-A. But that was the case. Now, goals and objectives. What are your goals and objectives? You need to have goals and objectives, okay? So I'm going to look and answer questions after. So list your 5-year goals. State specific, measurable objectives for achieving your 5-year goals. So as I said to you, you start off small with your 3 months, right? You start off, then your 6, then you go to your 1 year, then you go to your 3 year, and then you go to your 5 year. So that's 5 goals you're going to have, meeting you up to 5 years. Now, a company that I respect, when I was teaching them, our students, we were doing a hydraulic fuel competition, and we studied Shell, and Shell's goals and objectives run every 50 years. That's a business that's on their game. That's a business that is thinking way into the future and has an opportunity to have adaptable change. You can't be shy of what you're doing. You cannot be shy. Okay. You've got to be able to look ahead and plan. And don't worry if your plans don't always come into practice. But once you've got the plan, it gives you better chances and an opportunity to make the changes and adapt. Hey, so that's one of the things that you need to do. Make sure you put your goals and objectives. Very important, okay? So list your market share and any revenue and profitability objectives. So how much money do you want to make from your business? And be real. Are you just, you're not going to go into business. Well, that's not true. If you want to be a charity, let me change that. If you want to be a charity, you may not want to go for any monetary gain for yourself, but you still want to gain money for the business, for the charity, so you can help and assist the people that you're working with. So either way, you're about money. Let's not pretend. Whether you're a charity or whether you're a private limited company or an LLC, you're about the money. Corporations, even bigger. It's about the money, okay? So you're going to be looking at that revenue and what you desire to make, okay? And from there, that's where you have your financial plan. You're going to outline a high-level financial plan that defines your financial model and pricing assumptions. This plan is going to include expected sales and profits over the next 3 years. And you're going to use several different scenarios to cover the material appropriately. What could happen to your business in if there's an economic downtime. If you're going online, will this economic downturn have an impact, or will you need to up? Will your deliveries be impacted if there's a pandemic? So these are the kind of things you're going to look at. That's going to be your bottom dollar. Or are you going to have to spend more so you can stay in the game, because now you're having to change the way you do things? So all these things need to be looked at, and you need to incorporate that into your financial plan. So what do you need to get this business going? Your resources and your requirements. List your requirements for the following things. Your personnel, so that's staffing. Technology. Today, technology is essential. You've got to have proper working technology. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot be not accessible from your customers or your clients. You need to have good internet, people. Okay, it's so important. Good internet, so that you can actually have access all the time. Minimum downtimes. You need to have a good phone and company service. Have a unlimited plan, so you don't worry about making your calls and doing whatever, and your software, your website, all these things are important. Finances. How are you going to get and sort out your finances? Do you have previous investment? Is someone investing in the business? What kind of finances are you going to use? What resources are at your disposal? How are you going to distribute your products or your service? What do you need? How are you going to promote it? This puts you into another category of marketing and branding. That is another area that I'm not covering fully at this time, but if you contact me, I can give you this information. Promotion, promotion, promotion. But your best promotion is good customer service and products. If you have enough people that have experienced a great service or your products and how you treat them, that's going to be your best sell, people. Forget all the spiel and all the adverts and this and whatever. People make you the sales because they recommend, and that's your reality. Okay, products. What products are you going to have on sale, and what products do you need to make sure that your services are out there or sell? And then if you're doing services, what service are you going to be providing? And what do you need to ensure that your service is provided efficiently and effectively, so that you have the best impact for your customer? Okay, so of course, in all of this, there is going to be, hello, beautiful, risks and rewards. And that's the reality. To have your own business, to go out there alone, to be a solo entrepreneur, you will have risk. That's life, people. You will not go and get your best life or your dream and have that success if you don't take risks. I know it's scary. I know. Yeah, get over it. You got to do it. You need to take and have some risk. Okay. Summarize the risk of the proposed project and how they will be addressed. So you want to make sneakers for women, joggers. What's the risk? Well, some of your risk is the other competition, but that's fine. You can actually even make an even more niche market for your women. You could say you're making sneakers for women who are pregnant. There you go. Women who are pregnant, their feet swell. That's a definite niche market right there. So that's a risk, but people be making babies. From what I heard, next year, we're going to have a whole load of babies from this COVID lifestyle. So, yep, maybe somebody needs to make some sneakers for pregnant women. But we're going to have a lot of those coming for 2021. So, estimate your expected rewards. Because, of course, you're going into business to succeed. It's okay. You want to make money. Don't feel shy. Yeah, Rona babies. That's right, babes. Rona babies. They coming. There is a baby boom for 2021 of Rona babies. You put that out there. Say Animus Thing told you, well, then you're going to be like, okay, I'm a godmother. I'm an auntie. It's coming. or I'm an uncle, or I'm a godfather, or you the daddy. Anyway, so what is your expected rewards, particularly if you're seeking funding? So if you don't have your own capital, what is the reward? Why should someone invest in you? What is their remuneration? Because no one's going to invest in you if they're not going to get something back. That's just the reality. As that's the same thing I tell my students. Your parents have sent you to school and they want a remuneration on their investment. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, yeah, they want you to go to school to get fully educated with a good education so you can get a good job at the time. And that then later on, they know that they don't have to worry about being in a home. Because you know what? You'll be able to afford to get someone to come in and look after them. See, there you go. No, I'm kidding. But at the end of the day, you want your children to do well. And so that's why parents will push to get their children in very good schools, because you want a remuneration on your investment, your child's education. So what are the risks and rewards? Think about those things and go, plan that and put that down. So what are your key issues then as we come to a close? You've got near term. So what is right now imminent for me to start this? Identify your key issues and issues that need immediate or near term resolution. State the consequences of decision postponement. So like for me, remember I told you guys, sometimes I can procrastinate on some stuff and the next minute I'm like, woo, and I'm off and I'm impulsive. You've got to weigh up the cost and weigh up the balance. If you don't launch the business this month, what is that going to have on your operating costs, on bringing up your clientele? Or if you start this month, so let's say in August, how is that going to impact you? Are you coming into a market that is quiet at the moment because your business area is seasonal, because you have businesses that are seasonal? Like at Christmas, some people make the most money for their company at Christmas. There are some businesses that only sell in the month of November ending to December 24th. And then they try and sell off everything by January 1st. And that's it. They do no more business for the rest of the year. But they made enough money. Why? Because they are a seasonal business. So that's how it is. So don't think that you have to be there all the time if that's the case. There's so many different business options out there. So, look at your consequences and your decisions of what you're going to do. And if you're having postponements, what's going to be the impact on your company? What's your long-term issues? Identify needing long-term resolutions. So money coming in consistently to ensure if you have an overhead, the property or your van and the, getting your tag and, things like this that are important that you need to also factor in. Are you going to have uniforms, or are you going to have to do t-shirts? Everybody in the staff team needs t-shirts. So, these are the things that you need to factor in. What's your long-term resolutions for different scenarios? State what consequences will be for those and postponements. So if you're seeking funding, be very specific about any issues that require financial resources for resolution. Okay, don't be shy, be upfront. One of the things that fails many businesses is the fact that they're not upfront, they're not accountable, and they don't have integrity. If things are happening, do not be shy to say, hey, this is not working. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board and try and do something else different. And if you're in a team, you need to be open with each other. You need to be able to have people that are like-minded, okay? Who can you work with that you're all driven, passionate, willing to sacrifice, put in the time together? That's very important, okay? You want a team that you can laugh together, cry together, but you stick together. I'm a part of a group that we discuss different matters, especially impacting the African, Caribbean, and African American diaspora. How can we come together so that we can help each other? How can we build and work with each other so that our businesses that are being born can thrive? That's a very important factor. Okay, so we look at that and we say, okay, sorry, I need some more water. I keep this. So that's a major question. So what's stopping my people, Black people, from investing and working together and having their and opening businesses? If you can't go into business on your own, that's fine. That's understandable. But why can you not team up and come together as a team and do stuff? Why can we not do that? Why is it problematic? Why can we not work together in this process? So these are some of the things and the questions that we've been asking and we've been talking about. You know, sometimes not every business that you see out there, prime example, Amazon. Amazon started off with a second-hand bookstore. I know because I was one of the people that when I went to college, I was buying from Amazon because I could not afford to buy them books that they was trying to tell me to study law was costing, especially the book Hansa. Who pays that amount of money for a book that you're going to use for one semester? Anyway, no, I'm kidding. So Amazon became like a lifeline. Other students who'd studied before me didn't want their books. They were selling them online, and I was one of the people that went to buy them, and it benefited me. It blessed me. So that idea started to work. That's where Amazon started from. It's then selling books, new books. And then look where Amazon is today. Amazon now is one of the most highest paid companies, especially online, because remember, they don't have a physical store. And they now are one of the first companies this in the 21st century, because remember, we're in the 21st century, that are in their trillions in profit, all from used books. So don't think that what you're thinking that's on your mind could not become a profitable and great business. Somebody out there is willing to work with you. Now, last but not least, the main issue that I know of that people have is being afraid to fail. As I spoke about before, you have to take risks. That's just the reality. You have to take that risk, okay? But what happens is that because you're scared, which is fine, you're afraid. That's okay too. You just don't move. You just don't try. You just don't take the time to go out there and do. But it's okay to fail. A failed business means you learn from those mistakes and you go back and you try again. And that's okay. Let me tell you, people, who's one of our biggest business failures? I'll wait. I'm waiting. I know you know who it is. He's sitting in the White House. He looking like Sonny D. Yep, that's him. Trumpy. Trumpy's had 4 failed businesses, major, filed bankruptcy 4 times. He's the president of the United States. So people, please, don't be fearful if you fail, because you can still become president. Hey, amen. So at the end of the day, failure is not the worst thing. It's a learning curve. It's the way that you can say, okay, we didn't market this way and and we didn't put out this much. We need to do it this way. Or the software that we used, it wasn't working this way. So we need to change it and do this way. And that's okay. You know why? Because you're learning. You're learning what doesn't work for your business, that doesn't work for your target market, doesn't work for your customers. And you're like, we're going to make some changes. That's learning. Okay. So don't be afraid to fail. Okay. And there are support. There's so much support out there at this time. Of course, I'm here, and I'm staying. And that's what I do. I'm here to support you, to guide you in your business ventures. Okay. But another thing is, you can also, don't forget as well, especially if you're new to the game, mentoring. It's always best to have a business mentor, or like myself, a business coach. You need to get someone who's there to show you and guide you with the steps, so they can also foresee some pitfalls that you may not have recognized, because it's not your area. You've never done this before. But once you now have that coaching and that guide, that mentoring, you may not need it forever. You just need it for maybe the first 3 months or the first 6 months, just to get your foot, off the ground and running. Once you're up and your business is going and you know what you're doing, you can always tap back in the first year, tap back in a few. You would set the relationship and the boundaries that your mentor or your coach has, because it's your business at the end of the day. But you still need to have someone that's your go-to person, that will give you the honest truth and will also have you accountable. That is so important. And another thing that I know a lot of people do, especially when they're starting out on their own and they're worried about taxes and paying things. I'm going to tell you this. I know many people try to do stuff under the cover, but I am telling you, it's always in your best interest. If you are serious about having a business, if you are serious about being successful, register your business and make it legal. Incorporate your company, incorporate your business, incorporate your services, have your legalities looked at, your registrations. Get yourself an accountant if you are not good with your finances and you will not remember to apply things and add them. There are some great finance packages. QuickBooks is one of them. Okay, Sage, there's a few of them. But if you're not good with that, realize that, accept that. If you don't have anyone in your team that is, get yourself an accountant. Remember, you're the business owner. You will be telling and giving them the information. They're not to tell you. And that's why you have your mentor, your coach. They can guide you through that. So look into those areas. Please, 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 people. Always try to do things above board, because if you don't want later on down the line that now you're being successful, you're doing well, and then all of a sudden here comes the IRS. Hi, hello, you owe us tick, tick, tick. And guess who's that? Trumpy. Trumpy can't go to New York. Why? Because Kumo's after him. He owes him how much money? Why do you think for the presidency, he had to change his residency and say he lives in Florida? Because he can't say he lives in New York. If he lived in New York, they would get him. So what I'm saying is, please do things the right way. And if it means it takes you a little bit longer, that's okay. But it will safeguard you from what can happen, which is way worse in the long run, and especially for the company. So thank you all for listening. I hope that has been really helpful to you guys. You've had some positive tips. Of course, as you know, you can touch base with me. You can check out my website, www.animisthang.com. Also, the details are on there. You can DM me. I can help you with other issues if there's an area that I don't know, because I am real. I don't know everything. And I'm okay with that, because I'm not Jesus. I will signpost you to a man or a woman who can. And there's also, when you have extra work, be kind, share. Don't try and hold all the work to yourself or just keep it all for you. Go out there and say to others, look, I've just had someone come and ask me about this. Can I actually refer them to you? Because I've actually got quite a few clients. Do you know that when you refer a customer because you can't assist them, they actually have more trust in you, because you were upfront. You said you couldn't assist, but you then gave them to someone else who could support them. That's really important. Okay, so don't be shy if you're not able to do something. Know your limitations and be okay with that. Nobody has to be perfect. So my question to all of you again is, are you ready to open a business? Aha, that's the question. Are you ready, people? Are you ready to have your own, working away from home, anywhere around the world? You could be in Dubai, you could be in Malaysia, you could be anywhere, you could be in London. I don't know. We need to know. These places are getting scary now with this COVID, right? But all these kind of places that you could be working from, and your business could be making money for you. You could be making money when you're sleeping. You'd be like this, and then the things are cha-ching, cha-ching. That's what this is about. So this is a time, people, to not be scared. Take those risks, sensible risks. Let me put it like that. Don't just be silly and gung ho when you've got bills and how much to pay, and then now you've got no life. So then you can't run your business. That's the silly, right? But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that fear that you have, that you might fail. Oh, I forgot. I need to tell you this. The people around you. It is really important to have sensible, positive, encouraging, empowering people around you. So even if it's family, don't tell them your dreams and your visions if you know they're not supportive and they're the pessimist in the group. Don't do it. Keep your business private. Once you do, and it starts rolling and it comes and they see it functioning, that's when they'll be like, oh, okay, this is good. Keep it up. Yeah. Oh, wow. You'll be surprised that then they'll be more encouraging and more supportive. But many people, remember, as we spoke about earlier, because of fear, they won't want to see you going and doing that because they're not going to think it's smart. They're not going to think it's practical. Why? Because they're going to be like, hey, at the end of the day, you should just stay in your job. You know what money you're getting, you get paid. Scratch that. You don't want those naysayers. You want to take that chance if you're desiring to have your own business. But you've got to make sure the people around you are positive. So my analogy for that is, do you want to roll and hang with the chickens, or do you want to fly with the eagles? Fly with the eagles. And for me, I'm an eagle. I don't know about you. I like to fly. Soar up high, look down low, and not because I'm not humble or I want to be down on people, but I just want to be up there in the clouds. So that's the sort of thing. So the people that I surround myself with are people who think high flying, who are not scared to just take off and soar. So your people around you. So remember, I said to you earlier, your tribe, your team, your go-to people, your ride or dies. This is who you want to go into business with. And people that are not lazy, people that are not just going to tell you that they're going to get up and they're going to meet you or they're going to come there and then they don't honor their word and they fake it or they're late. Being punctual is important, people. Very important. Respect people's time. It's important. Respect people's time, and it shows that you have that integrity. If you're known to be late for a sensible reason, like an accident, traffic, or whatever, make a phone call, okay? But it's always better to be. My dad taught us being early was on time. Being on time was late. So he just was never late. Simple. So it's always better to give yourself that extra time to get there to a meeting, to a thing, or if you're going to have a chat with a bank manager, you definitely need to be there early and looking smart and presenting yourself respectfully. So that's just some of the things I have to say. So I hope that this information has assisted you. I hope that for all of you that have dreams and desires that, you will think about it. I'm a spiritually minded person. Pray about it. Go before your Father in heaven. You say, ask him to write the vision and make it plain. Okay, but have a plan. Those that do not have a plan, it says that the people will perish. So think about it, write it down, go away, come back, write it down, start planning, get on your little keyboard and start typing up what you think it can be. If you're a drawer, a designer, get creative, go for it. Just go out there and live, people. Don't let this new normal take away your dreams. Go for it. This is your time to shine. If you want success, you have to create it. Only you. And that's the reality, people. So subscribe to my channel, Miss Thing on YouTube. Email me. You can get my details on the website, www.animistthing.com. And of course, you can also contact me. The details are on there. So for all of you, as you know, it was a pleasure. Until next week when we are back with more interviews. But this week, I just really wanted to just go with you with some, business support and guidance so that you guys can go out there and take that risk. Go for it. Don't be scared. I mean, what have you got to lose? If you don't try, nothing. Okay? But if you try and you're successful, woohoo! Dinner's on you. Okay. Have a great week, people. Until next week, stay blessed. Are you ready? Go for it. Bye-bye.